Shalom, salam alaikum, kif halek, kifakum shlonek, merhaba, konnichiwa, ni hao, namaste, privyet, bonjour, buongiorno, saludos, hola, dag, haj, barev, yak, shamash. Hi guys, what's up? My name is Alex. I am the CEO of Orca Oshi Capital, and I'm an electronic dance music DJ. And non ne père ne fils de Saint-Esprit, Nastarovia. Let's go. $5.57 for a gallon of diesel. Yikes. However, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate is also 5.57%. Refresher. Shit got real in 2008 when it hit 6%. Foreclosures are up about 132%. 182% I saw in one area. You're the contrarian, what can I say? I will be making this video into two parts because we have to talk about SOMA. And no, I don't mean that awesome pill that Nicole Richie was driving down the interstate the wrong way on. I think I was too young to have ever even seen it. However, I've heard great things. But this is a different SOMA. The SOMA in which I am speaking refers to the System Open Market Accounts. The System Open Market Account is something very important for everyone to know about. It's where the Federal Reserve, New York specifically, holds dollar-denominated assets. The Fed Reserve chair said the balance sheet will begin to shrink June 1st. SOMA will be where the dollar-denominated assets are held. I just, for some reason, really like saying SOMA. And I want to add a caveat. Please, if you have a luxury brand degree, do not consider yourself an expert simply because of that. For the 80th time, the Federal Reserve does not print the money. I don't know how this is not misinformation and an immediate cancellation in the financial realm, but can we please make it one? Because I would argue calling the Fed something without speaking of each bank and how each bank divided controls microeconomic banking to prevent things such as bail-ins and credit risks to prevent defaults. We should not generalize the Federal Reserve. Again, I'm very critical of Jerome Powell. I think the Carlyle Group could have done much better, could do much better. I believe I probably could do much better. However, let's make sure to use proper names and terminology. I want to make this a two-part video because I don't want to speed to my 9 minutes because I refuse to be some influencer with some paid app to edit myself. Just no, I'm too lazy for that. I'd rather just go live. So let's jump back into finance. I found something very interesting. I've been talking about how Israel and India, I believe, are going to be the emerging markets. Israel is China's third largest trading partner. And with that said, America, we have broken another record. Our trade deficit is up 22% and surpassed $100 billion. Yikes. We have a trucking shortage, depression, recession due to the cost of diesel. I can only imagine how difficult it must be to get any type of product to a store that requires a boat, plane, or train. Which leads me to the modern day Mao's lockdowns in Shanghai. Yikes. I do plan to have a guest come on who is from China. I want to make sure he's safe and secure and feels very comfortable speaking so you all can hear firsthand from someone who has been there, from there, born there, and is an American. Now let's get back to America. We had 218,000 people file first-time jobless claims. I think we had a mere 200,000 last week and a mere, 200,000 before. Steve Jobs to no jobs. Yikes. layovers. Excuse me, not layovers. That would be in an airport. We'll probably see more of those as well, being that with gas being so high, we will probably see layovers. But layoffs, those are happening with gusto. I don't know if many of you caught the stock exchange this week. It hit and went into a bear market. And the amount of statistics people were posting sent me into an Asperger's and ADHD meltdown. Simply state the facts, you all. But based on what I conjured, we're partying like it's 1929 and 2008 all over again, except this time we have a central bank digital currency crisis minus the crisis. The IMF upped the yuan's weight in relation to the yuan for China. And their digital yuan is kicking ass and taking names. Word on the street, Macau might be taking it, which, by the way, is an extraordinarily fun place to go, especially if you like to gamble. In fact, might I recommend many of you with whom are gambling in the markets, just go straight to Macau. You'll have much more fun and the odds might be much more in your favor. I'm very concerned about the lack of discussion in relation to Taiwan and China. I'm very concerned we're not talking about or asking questions like how China knew to stockpile wheat in 2021, the de-dollarization project that started in 2014 with Russia, China. Nobody is speaking on these things and they're happening. And I want to know why. Subprime lending is back. And apparently people are defaulting. I had no idea they subprime lended for cars, that you could get a 30-year fixed on a car. America, I don't know what's going on up here, people, but maybe pay less attention to Elon Musk and read a book or two because, un indépendant de santé privilégiés dans l'Amérique. Je ne sais pas. Je suis désolée. I am very, very sorry for the ignorance that's coming out of America. I am stupefied, of course. But nonetheless, back to the housing market in America. Speaking of housing, adjustable rate mortgages are making a comeback. The Fed is going to hike rates, you guys, in June, 50 basis points. I'm just speculating. Of course, hold me to anything that I say because I like to learn. I like to engage with you all. And people are wanting an adjustable rate mortgage when rates are going up. By the way, remember, rates will also affect your credit card. I believe we're camping out at a 17% APR. I am someone that doesn't believe in debt. Therefore, I can't speak on it too much. But we did break some more records. $15 trillion of consumer debt, according to the New York Fed. Congrats, America. We've done it again. And I want to say 884 billion, but don't test me. That number might be a little bit skewed in just the first 3 months of 2022. So I'm going to wrap this video up and we're going to continue because, again, as someone who refuses to be an influencer and pay money for an editing app, this one only allows me to go 9 minutes. But prepare for a recession, not financial advice, friend to friend, human to human. Probably the worst depression America's ever seen. And if America would just look up from their phones, they'd already see it's happening or happened. 401ks have now become 201ks based on the 2 to 11% loss people have taken and don't even know about. Salam alaikum, kif halek, kaifakum shlonek, shalom, merhaba, konnichiwa, ni hao, namaste, privyet, bonjour, buongiorno, saludos, hola, dag, hash, badav, yak, shimash. Hi guys, Alex, CEO of Orca Oshi Capital Management. Shout out to my partner, Ronnie. He's BTS always. And I'm an electronic dance music DJ. And with that said, let's jump right into the bear market scare, or what I like to call super predictable year of the contrarian, all smiles right here. Walmart. People seem to be so shocked that Walmart, for the first time since before I was even a former fetus, I want to say back in 87, October of 1987, fact check me and correct me, of course, because I like to give correct information. Apparently their stock dipped 11% and the Waltons lost $19 billion. So let's of course, our thoughts and prayers are with that family, because all I have to say is I think it's a little bit more complicated than American consumers. Forget the fact that diesel's 5.57 and Walmart had to rent trucks, and remember the whole railroad theft and the hundred and something ships off the coast of Long Beach. Yikes. But last summer, Sam, Walmart, and China were kind of peacocking with one another. And I know China did tell Walmart that how dare Walmart try to mandate that they don't use slave labor and that they couldn't prove it. And China said that they would essentially cactus fuck them. And I guess that's what they did. Speaking of China, Evergrande. We're still not sure of, but Cynic. Huh. That's a unique one, because this little one cannot pay the $1.1 billion bondholders their money. And what makes it interesting is I'm wondering how many people have the second largest property developer, Evergrande, or Cynic, which is the third largest in China, in their portfolios. The digital yuan seems to be kicking ass and taking names. Americans seem to be making laws about a central bank digital currency that doesn't even exist yet. So we're a little, I don't know, off, if you will, to say it nicely. And back to the housing market. Housing prices are going to have to go down because there are not going to be enough qualified buyers when you have an interest rate costing the same as diesel fuel. I'm very, very interested to see how quickly the housing market does begin to cool come June, and especially June 1st. Knowing the Fed's going to taper much slower, they're not going to do everything at once. That might ease it perhaps, but we are in a depression, recession. Look around, look at the vacancies of buildings. Hotel rooms are at an all-time high. I'm not even sure how Americans are living. Being based on statistics I see, Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Buy now, pay later. Oh, that's another one. That's a good thing I heard about. I've never used it, but apparently majority of Americans are now going to buy now and pay later, and it's not really regulated, so I guess that's good. I don't even know what to say except just yikes. You all, materialism kills. We have a 70% GDP economy. At least back in the Depression, they were inventing things such as the toaster. We need to make shit to make shit. The baby formula shortage, a travesty, another embarrassment. And I'm sick of it. Housing prices are going to have to go down. We need qualified buyers, of course. I do think that we need to look at the saying of too big to fail and kind of step back, because Walmart is showing the world right now that it is very big and that it can also fail very big as well, especially when China has something to do with it, such as locking things down and making items unattainable. Americans, are none of you afraid that you're not going to be able to get your pharmaceuticals? I sure as fuck am. I mean, just the ability of me not even being able to potentially import my vodka, shout out to Bacardi. Yikes, right? Steve Jobs to no jobs, freedom to free stuff. I have no words. But $115 a barrel for oil. So good job for those who run the CME. We still have a wheat crisis, being that Russia and Ukraine were the exporters. I believe Hungary is another. And allegedly, apparently, macroeconomics is saying food shortage. I've been talking about a water crisis, and let's touch base on that really quickly. Lake Mead, I can't pronounce shit, don't come for me, as dried up, droughts. We're seeing a lot of random weather, and not just in America, but all over the world. And I think making sure to hypothetically have water and food put away for a rainy day or month is important. Electricity grids going down is another bellwether that should be going off in one's head, along with the ruble being backed by gold and China potentially backing something with gold, and the banks stocking their vaults with gold and silver. JP Morgan. Love JP Morgan, love Jamie Dimon. Let me say this. If I were the president of the United States and I looked at the IMF website, which essentially blamed myself as to why the US is not the world reserve currency and why we have five identifying as one, the yen, the euro, the dollar, the pound, and the USD. And I'm sure I just missed one. But nonetheless, I would be having Howard Marks, Steve Cohen, Alan Greenspan, Hank Paulson, George Soros. Who else am I just missing off the top of my head that knows money markets and knows finance? Larry Fink, Schwartzman of Blackstone. I would be having everybody powwow. David Solomon of Goldman Sachs, Jamie Dimon, and of course, shout out to Jamie Dimon. What a brilliant politician and banker. He was part of the Troubled Asset Relief Program. David Rubenstein, Bill Ackman. I would be having all of these men, even Ray Dalio. Come on in, buddy. The more the merrier. Help us out. How are we going to get our world reserve currency status back? Because if I'm in the White House right now, I'm shitting bricks. Because China's cactus fucking America and nobody seems to care. Everyone seems to just care what Elon Musk is doing. And I care about my future and my standard of living and my purchasing power of my dollar. And by the way, you all, if we don't have the world reserve currency, our purchase power is going to suck ass. Bitcoin, by the way, is still trading linear to tech. We're not shocked. Amazon, Walmart, Target, Lowe's, places that give me such a headache to go into in general, unless I might be drunk at 2 in the morning and feel the need to go ride a bike. Nah. Americans don't have money to spend. Credit card APRs will be going up. Defaults will be coming soon. With that said, for those who want a new car or a new home, hold off. The sales will be coming. Stocks on sale. And I will say this, I'm going to found the Antisocial Media Valuation Contrarian Club. So if you're someone like myself who despises social media and finds it to be a cesspool of bad advice in relation to finance, come find me. I would love to have you be part of my club. I look forward to stocks having valuation, meaning the growth of the company matches the value of the company and the price of the stock. I'm a value investor, and it seems to be doing well. However, with all of the Forex and foreign exchange central bank digital currencies, some triangular arbitrage here and there, in between digital and not, hypothetically, allegedly, might be fun. But I love you all, and habek shatim de amo bisu besu bachi. Alex out.